Understanding Masculinity, the Truth About Being a Man. Hello everybody, and welcome to Male Wisdom. In this video, I want to discuss an issue that's been on my mind for a while now. It seems like everywhere we look, society is telling us what it means to be a man. But I don't think that's right. I believe each of us has our unique definition of masculinity, and it's time we start sharing those definitions more openly. So in this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on the topic and hopefully start a conversation with you about what it means to be a man. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more. So to be a man in your imagination, you must first be a man in your reality. Unfortunately, masculinity is often misunderstood and misinterpreted by today's standards. The complex nature of masculinity is more than what the eye can see. It is an intricate balance of emotion, strength, power, and sensitivity. The current societal understanding of masculinity only scratches the surface. This leads to unrealistic and often damaging expectations of what it means to be a man. It is time for a more accurate and complete understanding of masculinity to take hold. Only then will we be able to create a society that genuinely values and respects all men. It has nothing to do with being macho. Although seeming macho might be an unintended consequence of being a manly guy, a masculine man is someone who provides a feeling of assurance and safety to others around him. People go for him when in a jam because they know he always has a good strategy or suggestion for everything. In today's world, men are more important than ever to be strong and decisive. Too often, we see wishy-washy and uncertain men, unable to make decisions about even the most essential things. This is only possible if you use your decision-making muscle. The definition of masculinity is a guy who is determined and takes the initiative. In other words, a man knows what he wants and isn't afraid to go after it. So how can you develop this essential quality? First, you need to learn to trust your gut instinct. Instead of spending hours overthinking every decision, go with your first instinct and see where it takes you. Second, don't be afraid of making mistakes. We all make them, but it's those who learn from their mistakes and move on who become successful in life. Finally, have confidence in yourself and your abilities. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Remember, being a solid decision maker is essential to being a successful man in today's world. So start using your decision-making muscle and see where it takes you. Even while being physically fit is a terrific method to seem manly. Everyone knows that every enormous-looking person is not always a macho man. However, when you think from a male viewpoint, your mind will instantly modify your body and habits to match, and you will appear masculine regardless. And you'll construct your physique as if it were your holy mission. A manly mentality may influence the thoughts of others around him. This induction might be his values, desires, or goals. Masculinity is associated with the worst kind of portrayal that has nothing to do with it. That is dictatorship and violence. Nothing could be farther from the truth. The traditional image of a macho man is someone strong, challenging, and fearless. He is the guy who never backs down from a fight and always comes out on top. Unfortunately, this image is often glamorized in the media, making it seem like violence is a necessary part of being a real man. However, the reality is that resorting to violence is a sign of weakness, not strength. Those who have utilized violence and dictatorship are not appreciated, and they are the ones who have earned the designation of toxic masculinity for this magnificent gift of man. To demonstrate his masculinity, a macho guy does not have to be a lady or walk over other men. If he does, it proves one thing: weakness, and it is blasphemous to associate such a sign of weakness with masculinity. As a result, the whole narrative of toxic masculinity is rendered null and invalid since such guys are not masculine at all. There's just something about a genuinely manly guy that commands respect and adoration from women. He doesn't have to say a word. His mere presence is enough. His tone, comments, and demeanor convey an air of authority and strength that is impossible to ignore or resist. And it's not just women who respond to this. Men respect him as well. He is the epitome of what it means to be a man, and everyone knows it. He is the standard by which all other men are measured. If you want to be the kind of guy women can't help but respect and adore, you must learn how to project that same air of confidence and strength. It's not something that you can fake. It has to come from deep within. Solely due to the command of his thoughts and inclinations, a manly guy relaxes everyone around him. They know he will lead, they can rely on him, and they know he has nerve control. But once you've mastered it, you'll have the power to demand respect and adoration from anyone just by being there. Because it is the best case scenario for others, they chose him because of his pure masculinity. That's a guy who was the tribal chief. That was the guy who hunted and supplied for everyone under his care. That guy faces a beast while the rest of his family flees for safety. He is the pride of those around him. There isn't a single individual who is terrified of him. On the contrary, they adore him rather than quake in his presence. This is masculinity. Never let anybody tell you it is a curse. It is just what the world needs right now. Nowadays, it's more important than ever for guys to be level-headed and know how to stand up to a challenge. We're not talking about physical creatures anymore, but mental ones. The pressure of today's world can be overwhelming, and it's easy to get lost in thought. That's why it's so important for guys to know how to stay calm and focused in the face of adversity. When we can do that, we can overcome anything that comes our way. So next time you're feeling overwhelmed, remember that you have the power to control your thoughts. A guy is today considered macho if he understands what he wants. He is motivated to the point that he only sees his objective. He is the center of gravity for everyone around him. He is growing monetarily, and it is not due to avarice. However, the sheer force of his aspirations is amassing his fortune, and he properly utilizes his future to uplift others around him. So stand up to the challenges of today's world and show everyone that you're a level-headed guy who knows how to handle anything that comes your way. There is a common misconception that being self-centered is somehow an essential part of masculinity. This could not be further from the truth. Being manly has very little to do with focusing on oneself and everything to do with benefiting others. A truly masculine man puts others first, whether his family, friends, or strangers. He protects and provides for those who are weaker or vulnerable. He acts with strength and courage in the face of adversity. And he does all of this not for his benefit, but for the use of those around him. Being self-centered does not constitute masculinity. It is only manly when it benefits others. Everything else is narcissism, but you must first stabilize yourselves since you can't genuinely help others if you are suffering. A manly guy is macho because he cares for his affairs before helping others around him. It would help if you did not lose yourself in attempting to raise someone else, and you can only do it when you have control of your thoughts. Accept your masculinity in your thinking and begin to live your life from that point of view. Money, health, a perfect physique, and female adoration will be a result. This does not mean you become entirely self-sufficient and never seek aid when needed. The distinction is that you want assistance, but not guidance in your life from others. Said, a manly guy seeks solutions for himself rather than seeking them from others. Remember that a violent guy who governs via force is not a manly man. That is a beast that a masculine man confronts.